Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Play Podcast. This is Ebony,
And this is Ciera.
and it's been a good while since we've recorded anything, so we are back. Wasn't that long, but we're back.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we are gonna dive into reevaluating friendships, which is a hard topic. You know, we're in our 30s now, and trying to reevaluate friendships can be a tough decision. Like, should you keep your friendships? Should you not keep your friendships? So we're going to talk about all things friendships today, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. But I do want to start out before we really just dive all the way in the topic. Like, what is your definition of a friend?
That is a good question, Ciera, because I think that as adults, I know even me sometimes, I tend to call people friends quicker than I probably should call them friends,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the time people are just associates or acquaintances or a coworker or whatever you want to call them, right?
Right.
I think that my definition of a friend is someone who you have a mutual beneficial relationship with, and I'm saying that as in that you both provide each other value, you both are equal in the friendship, and you both the friendship is healthy, and you see this person going through life with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I also think that friendship should have uh, a span of time in which you call people a friend. I don't think, like, if you met somebody yesterday, that you should necessarily call them a friend.
Oh, yeah, definitely not a new person, like a yesterday type meet. But I also don't think that you have to know them for a super long time to be able to
Mm-hmm.
tell their true intentions and whether or not they should be in the friend, associate, coworker, acquaintance, whatever other categories
Yeah,
you have
I
in your
agree.
life.
Do you think, like, so here's the thing? Do you think, like, what does it take to for an acquaintance or um someone that you know to become a friend, like to move over into that friend category?
Sorry about that. My daddy is calling
Uh-oh.
me. It's my dad calling me, and my phone is on do not disturb. However, those special people in your
Mm-hmm.
phone, it will still ring through. And I'm like,
Girl, I'm glad you said daddy, because I was thinking of another daddy. My mind went. Go ahead. My bad.
oh no, I don't call. No, Mr. Ciera just called. I'm gonna have to text it back like, Daddy, I'm busy right now. But anyways, sorry. So to go from an acquaintance or a coworker to a friend, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I have some coworkers that are my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna tell her to listen to this episode so she can hear how I feel about her.
All right.
But my little friend Brittany, little Brittany, because I know more than one Brittany, but she's a short one. I think she's like 4'11". Love you,
Yes.
girl.
Hey, Brittany.
But we were coworkers, and you know, back in 2014 or something, she was going through stuff. I was going through stuff. She showed up for me more than a coworker. I showed up for her more than a coworker. And then like that, it was just like, you know what? We friends, because she could have just been like, oh, and just listened. Sometimes you kind
Mm-hmm.
of feel like who you can talk to, who you can talk to about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with your friends and your acquaintances. And I felt like she was a genuine person, that she would listen to what I was going through, and that she would lend at least a listening ear, but she did more than that. So then when she needed me, it wasn't nothing but a thing. I was like, girl, I got you. And then here we are all these years later. Like, if she were to call me and be like, see, I need X, Y, and Z, I'd be like, all right, Britt. Like when she moved, I was like, all right, just got a truck. Don't scratch her up, but we gonna put your stuff in the back. You moving? We got this. Like, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just depends on the interactions, the conversations that you have, and then you just get a gut feeling about people. Like, I don't think she was just walking around talking about that's my friend when we first met each other, but we just had so much in common. We started to realize, like, once she opened up and was vulnerable about stuff, I opened up and we had stuff in common, and it just clicked. So, but you got to know, because sometimes people be your
Mm-hmm.
acquaintances and they need to stay there because you tell them something and the whole world gonna find out.
Mm-hmm.
But so you just really gotta go with your gut. I think that's what it comes down to. But Brittany, love you, girl. You my boo.
Yeah, I think that friendships are different. Like when you are in high school, you kind of make all of these friends just because they're around, right? Then when you get in your 20s, if you go to college, you start making friends based on um the fact that you guys connect on some level. Some friendships work out, some don't. When you
Mm,
become an adult, friendships are a lot different because one, a lot of us don't have a ton of time for friendships. Two, you have to evaluate people's true intentions. Three, you might think someone is a great person too, and then it just turns out like, okay, I feel like you're a great person. We just aren't meant to be friends.
right.
Um, so I think that's one thing. I found a couple of things on social media. One being a graph, but I don't want to go over the graph just yet. I want to talk about this one thing. This um, one thing that I saw, it says, if you need to reach me and ask yourself, do you really need to reach me? Please know that I'm moving at a much more intuitive pace and right sizing my relationship to social media, email, and my availability. So it might take me a minute to get back. Thanks for the grace and see you in the future or whatever they said.
Okay.
And so right sizing, they put it like a wave. I guess on the next wave, I don't know what that means. Not fluid in uh emojis sometimes. So right sizing my relationships, and I think evaluating and saying like, is this working for me? So sometimes we get into situations we don't even think like, is this for me? Is this working for me? Is this something I want to do? You
Right.
just kind of find yourself there. So I think it's best to kind of like reassess, reevaluate, and I don't have a good measure for that. I don't know whether you do it 3 months in, 6 months in, a year in. I think every friendship is different.
I don't even I don't think I go back and reevaluate any of my friendships until
Mm-hmm.
something happens. Like I don't say, oh, okay, are they really putting in? Are they putting or not putting in like yearly, quarterly, whatever? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you just get to that point, like, wait a minute, I done invited them to X, Y, and Z. They haven't showed up or they have showed up. Like it just once things start happening and people start not showing up is when it's time to
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate. I feel like once when they're there for you, it's like you don't have nothing to reevaluate because it's like they're in your back pocket
Yeah.
and they've got not their back pocket like they don't do whatever you want them to do, but like they've got your back. So right now I can call somebody and say, yo, I'm going through this, and they will drive from North Carolina all the way up here, lickety split. And I've done the same
Mm-hmm.
thing for her. So it's like I don't even think at all about reevaluating because you know, but then it's like the
Mm-hmm.
ones that you don't really know, like when do you take the time? And I think if you have to sit there and think about, do I need to reevaluate this friendship? Then maybe they're not your friends. If you have to really ask that question, I would think, then they're not. Because I just think like if they're genuinely your friends and you're genuinely friends with them,
Mm-hmm.
it don't even come to your mind to think about it. That's just
Okay.
me. As I'm talking out loud. So I know we said we are gonna talk about this, but as I'm the topic was gonna be reevaluating it, I'm like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe when you start to see certain things that are like not looking like a friend, you can be like, okay, well, look, glad you're not in my friend booklet or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but we can still be cool, we can still be cordial, and I'll still speak or whatever. But when it comes down to it, I'm not calling you for anything, and I'm not running to you for anything because you're not a friend. You're more of associate, someone to have fun with when I want to have fun.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's so funny? And I talked about this way like months ago on the podcast. I didn't realize that a lot of my friendships were lopsided until I started talking with my therapist. And you know, I forgot the word she used, but I started assessing some of that made me actually start assessing some of my relationships and say, okay, well, if I don't reach out to this person, if I don't call this person, will they call me? Will they reach out to
Mm.
me? Is the relationship contingent on me holding the relationship up? If that's the case, then there's no relationship.
I 100% agree. If you don't talk to somebody, whether it's a platonic relationship
Mm-hmm.
or a romantic relationship, then there can't be a friendship there because you don't take the quality time to get to know them. Now
Yeah.
there can be people who are very busy in life and they are your friends and you guys got to literally schedule time in the
Mhm.
calendar to do girl wine night via Zoom. Okay, but you know you're busy. Um but it's those relationships, especially in the very beginning, like 2
Mhm.
years or less, 3 years or less, where you're still trying to build that foundation. And if you're
Mhm.
not taking the time to reach out to them, or if they said, "Hey, we should talk more," and it doesn't happen,
Mhm.
then it's like you knew why you didn't want to talk more to them. So they're not a priority to you, or you're not a priority to them either, whoever said it first or whatever.
Mhm.
And you probably should evaluate that as, okay, well, I know where they stand now. Not
Mhm.
that you hate them. You don't have to be like, talk about them or
Yeah.
complete
But I
them,
think it
completely
also
write them
takes
off.
two parties because like the friend that's like, "Oh, well, we should talk more." If they're not like I often have uh people who want to like I try to check in and with all of my friendships, but sometimes I honestly forget because like I'm trying to keep this relationship, keep that relationship, keep that relationship. And I'm like, dang it, I forgot, that I also have this friendship over here too. And so if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, we should talk more, and I'm trying, and then that other person is not reciprocating, then it kind of is just like, okay, well, let me just, shift and move over here.
So what do you mean
So,
that they say that you should talk more and then you're
mhm.
trying? So you're saying,
Right.
because
So if I reach out and I call and or if I follow up and then that person isn't like reciprocating the follow up, then it'll be a little bit difficult.
okay, so you're not talking about the person you forgot about. You're talking about someone you actually did reach out to when they said that. Or are you talking about the person you forgot about? You
No, I'm
confused me.
saying no. I said a couple of different things.
You did.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to go
No,
back. Okay.
no, I'm saying like if the person who said, "Hey, we should talk more," and maybe I just forgot like to follow up with this friend, and when they said that, I'm like, "Oh, you're right. Let me reach out more." So if I start reaching out more and that person isn't reciprocating me reaching out more, then you know I
Okay.
kind of fall off a little bit because you just never know. And it's also sometimes hard having conversations with adult like, hey, do you still want to be my friend? Like that's a little difficult, you know.
We don't do that. We really don't. I mean, I've had friends that were bestest of friends
Mm-hmm.
in college and nothing happened, nothing at all. And we just kind of grew apart and we just don't talk anymore. And she lives her life, I live my life. There's no hatred, at least on my part. Like I don't know because I haven't talked to her in years.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I didn't sit there and say, hey, are we gonna be friends anymore? Or I actually didn't even like do a whole lot of pushing, like, hey, where have you been? Hey, what's going on? Why haven't I heard from you? Like I didn't do a whole lot of that because I feel like if you're a friend, even when stuff happens and you get busy, you always come back. And
Mm-hmm.
so I let her go. I let her live her life, and it looks like she's living a wonderful life. Because we're still friends on social media. Yeah, because I only delete people on their birthdays if I don't know them. So I haven't deleted her or anything, and I have no
Wait,
reason
what?
to. But so yeah, it just kind of just kind of happened. And looking back, it's like, oh, we did have a really, really, really great friendship from like 2004 to probably like 2015. It was great. But I don't feel as though it was something that really had to continue into the next phase of either of our lives, because if it was, it would have. And we were always there for each other. She's driven up here for me, I've driven down there for her. But at this point, it's like, I cherish the memories, but not all friendships are supposed to be a lifetime friendship.
That's true. That is
They're
that
there
is
for what
definitely
they're
true.
there for. So,
And sometimes distance stops people from following up. I mean, life circumstances. Sometimes you
mhm.
see stuff in people and you're like, I didn't see that before. So
Mm, that's a whole nother thing.
yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about that right now. We're not gonna talk
No,
about
no,
that right
no.
now.
We'll come back. Comment and let us know if you want us to come back and talk about that little piece. But I also think that um ending friendships is difficult, but I have like 10,000 things in a thought process. So before I dive deep into like how to end a friendship, because I ain't no expert, child. I want to talk about the graph that I found. And it talks about, you can use this for any relationship, but does this friendship make sense? And it's, you know, you decide whatever friend that you have in your mind where your friendship falls with this person. So there's 4 different quadrants on this graph, and on this side is the amount you enjoy the friend, right? In this side, it is how healthy the friendship is.
So
And so
can you
go ahead.
can you talk out loud for those who can't visualize what you're saying?
That's
Because some
fine.
people are just listening to us. So you're like on this side, on this side. So like, I don't know if they can understand what this side means. Do you get what I'm
Oh, I'm
saying?
sorry, girl. We on video, so I thought, okay,
Yeah,
I'll do
some people don't listen to us. Some people just listen to us and don't see the video. So
Sorry, I'm like making hand motions and y'all
yeah.
can't see me, and y'all probably listening like, this girl is crazy. Okay, here we go. So on the bottom, so child, I ain't been to school in a long time. Is this the X or the Y axis?
Listen, math was not my thing. We can just say the bottom. Everybody knows where the
The
bottom's at.
bottom of the graph, child,
Okay.
says how healthy the relationship is. So that's what we're measuring. And then the side of the graph says the amount you enjoy the friendship, right? So there's 4 different boxes, quadrants on there. And the first one says that this relationship or friendship is healthy and enjoyable. That's the ideal that you want to be in. You want your friendship to be in this little piece, right?
The top left.
The top, yes.
Top
Let's
left.
go
Okay.
with that. It's not really, for me, it's the right, but yes.
Whichever way it is, top right. Okay, I'm just
Okay, top right.
Okay.
And then the right bottom says this is quadrant number 2, and it says healthy but not enjoyable. So this is a problematic relationship. Then on the left at the top, this is quadrant 3, it says enjoyable but not healthy. This is also problematic, right? And then in quadrant 4, it says not healthy and not enjoyable. So, and it's like, come on, you know that this time to end. So let's go to, okay. A high healthy friendship is, it has some points here. It says love is the core emotion. It's a positive vibe, lots of trust, equal power dynamic, equal priority, supportive, genuinely rooting for each other. So that's high healthy functioning relationship.
Okay.
A low friendship would be a negative vibe, disdain, envy, lust is part of the equation, reacquainted, I don't even know what this is. Love is involved. A loop-sided power dynamic. Probably supposed to be lopsided, but whatever, girl. Y'all got me right here. Secretly rooting against each other, more enemy than friend, and generally toxic is the low friendship health. And
I think there's a lot of friendships in that one.
there's a low friendship enjoyability, which says awkward and forced, fake, boring, feels like a chore, sustaining forced, basically. And then a high friendship enjoyability is comfortable and natural, fun, stimulating, laughy, and passes the traffic test. I don't know what the traffic test is. So that's just basically a sample. So if you want to know whether your friendship is healthy or not, you can look in this thing. I mean, I also think that there's other things outside of this that probably would make the friendship healthy or not healthy, but this is a good start.
I just wanted to add, so this graph, you can actually find it on waitbutwhy.com. Wait, WAIT, but BUTYWHY.com. That's actually the little plug down here in the bottom of it, just if anybody wants to see it themselves.
Yes.
And then also you found it on the Wait But Why Instagram page.
Yes.
So you can just take a look at it. So you can see all the colors and everything. But I do want to say, like, the not healthy but enjoyable, the come on, that's a low health friendship, low friendship health.
Yes.
I think that a lot of people
Girl, you
live
said it
in,
right the first time. They should have wrote the graph that way.
I think a lot of people fall in this where it's not a healthy relationship, but they enjoy it. And there is going to be this is very small writing. I'm telling y'all, there can be some negative vibes. There's some envy. There's some lust, I guess. Um, Lopsided power dynamic. I can see all of this, like more enemy than a friend, and you don't even know it. Um, and genuinely toxic. So
I'm glad you told them the words are small, so now it makes it seem like I wasn't just stumbling over words. I was having a hard time reading.
they are small, but I'm like, um, and more enemy than a friend, and secretly rooting against each other. So let's talk about that. So I think I was about to say in the woman community, are we a community? We're a community. In the
Let's be a
women,
community.
the community of women, um, there comes a time where I think every woman in their life has felt like people were rooting against them. Like everybody was jealous of how they were doing in their lives, or, all the girls dislike me because I'm pretty. I got, what is that called? Oh my gosh. What's that word they've been using lately with the word pretty? Basically, you're pretty. So, pretty privilege.
Oh yeah,
I
yep. Okay,
like
I
to
see
think that I got a little pretty privilege in me. Because I will say, I can get a few things um that I think people who are not as physically attractive can get, and not saying like I be out here like, trying to get
What
money
is that?
and getting free meals. What is what?
Like what? Like pretty privilege? Because maybe I just don't understand.
So basically my understanding of what it is that people get more, or society looks at them with a softer lens because they're visually more
Okay.
pleasing to them. So if somebody
Okay.
walked up, you know, teeth hanging out their mouth, face looking a little, lips dry, weave all over their head, looking bad, and they walk up to somebody like, "Yo, I really need just $1 because I'm trying to buy this and I'm dollar short. I left my credit card." People gonna look at them like, "No." But if a more attractive person came up and asked the same exact thing, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, here's nothing," because you look more put together. You're able to get things from people, and I keep saying that, but I don't want it to sound as though like you're out here trying to get things. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
even interviewing for certain things, you go ahead and interview
See,
at
now I
Hooters if
feel
you
bad as you're talking. I'm like, maybe I do have that and just never realized, and now I feel bad because
the word just came. I just heard the word a few weeks ago. So it's not like it's something that was well known or what are talked about, but even like places, let's see, Hooters. You have to have a certain look to work in
oh
Hooters.
yeah, I tried to work
They
at Hooters in college.
they want you to look a certain way.
They ain't pick me.
Why? Because they want a certain look,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to have this look for men to come in and all of that stuff. They're pretty, and somebody who wasn't as pretty may have just been okay, but they're like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. So I do feel that women who are seen as being attractive may have those, or feel as though they have that issue with other women, where it may or may not be true, where it's like you're doing your thing, you may be a little more attractive, you may get more attention from men and or women, um for anything from jobs to go get a rental car, and they may give you, hey, I'm gonna give you a free upgrade because you cute. I ain't asked for that,
Mm-hmm.
but guess what, I'm going to
Thank
take
you.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
um so I think that is definitely a thing that happens, and even if it's not happening, people may feel as though their friends are jealous of them and feel envy
I feel like
towards
that
them.
happens a lot. Like I don't like to have those type of friends around me. The minute I smell like you might be jealous or dislike something, for you feel like I get this or just any type of jealousy, I'm like, okay, we'll need to be friends because I don't think you can be friends with someone who's jealous of you. It just does not work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've been friends with all type of people, and I'm not the friend that's like, oh my god, she's prettier than me, so I'm jealous. I'm like, yes, like hyping that person up. Like I actually enjoy having friends that look better than me, you know. So
So do you
that's just me personally.
do you find yourself being one of the people who like, what is it, all my friends are bad, or they're dimes, or like I want all my friends to be beautiful and look really good,
I don't
like
I
a,
don't
a bad baddie, a baddie's gang. Yeah, that's
I would love to have a baddie gang, but I also don't say you can't be friends with me because you look that way. I don't do that.
So you have ugly friends?
I don't think I have ugly friends, but I'm just saying I'm not the person that's like, oh my God, you're like, I would never do that. I never would say, okay, you ugly, you can't be my friend.
Mm, okay. Just
But yeah,
checking.
okay. I'm just trying to figure out like where you trying to go with this conversation.
No, I was just asking you because you were saying that you have you like all your friends to be prettier than you.
Okay, well
Or
maybe
you
I'm
would
the
like them
ugly
to.
friend.
So that's what I'm just saying. Do you have any ugly friends? Yes or no? I mean, that's a simple question, just yes or no.
I
If you
don't
say
think so,
no,
no.
yeah. I think all of my friends are beautiful.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, that would have been my answer if you would ask me the same question. That's it. I wasn't trying to catch you like, oh, you the ugly friend. No, it wasn't no trick question. It was
Oh,
just,
and let me be clear for people on the podcast, since sometimes we can't come back and respond. I do not think I'm the ugly friend, and I think that everybody is beautiful in their own right. I truly believe that. However, I don't like pick up friends, because some people pick up friends based on how they look.
yep.
Like, oh, you can't be my friend because you look like that. I would never do that to somebody.
Yeah, that's whack.
Yeah, it is really whack.
Super whack. Um, but it does feel good, when you do have like, your people are all on
Mm-hmm.
the same level, and you going out.
You going? I'm like, yes. Like
Yeah.
when we went out for Christmas. Was it Christmas? New Year's.
For
Christmas.
what?
No, we went to an alpha party. And I felt like we all had a good time. Everybody was dressed nice. It was a nice event. You probably don't remember. It was 2 years ago.
At
Two
the
years
Hard
ago?
Rock.
Yeah, that was a funny event.
Oh, you trying to say all of us were cute? Is
Yes.
that's why you brought it up? Oh yeah. Nobody tried to talk to me, but hey,
I
they're
feel like
lost. They're lost. They're lost. I ain't tripping on that.
it went that it was a lot of guys in there, but everybody be booed up. It's the winter time.
Yeah, it was their Founders Day, so it was early December.
Yep. And the one guy that tried to talk to me didn't work out. He had small hands, but that's
That's another episode.
yes. Yeah.
Because we talk about friendships. But yeah,
Yes.
so did you say you had something else that you found on social media about friendships?
Ooh,
Are we still gonna talk a little bit about this graph?
um
Because
let's see.
I mean, like, because I'm pretty sure we can give examples for each quadrant, um, 1 through 4.
Yeah, I've been friends with people oh, let me read this first too. For what you're talking about. So this thing that I found, it says you need people in your life that are further along than you, people that have a bigger vision, people that are more experienced. You need to be exposed to new levels so that you can go to new levels. If you're the smartest one in your group is too small.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that when you do have a friend group, everybody should bring something to the table.
Yes, I
So that's what I'm.
definitely agree because they'll push you in
Mm-hmm.
directions that you would need to go instead of just, you're all just sitting around. Oh, sorry, technical difficulties. My bad, y'all. I unplugged myself. But instead of y'all just sitting around watching reality TV or watching
Mm-hmm.
cartoons or
BS,
something,
yes.
not leveling up, you need somebody who's leveling up. You need somebody who knows about things that you don't know about and things that you know that they don't know. Like, so you're supposed to kind of mentor up. And I know I have
Mm-hmm.
friends like my girl D. She's super smart. I'm like, girl, like I need to be on your level. She be hanging out with the people. She was like in like the political arena type stuff, and
Oh
so she
wow.
knows people, right? And so I'm like, yeah, girl, when we going to CBC or when we going to this and we doing that, because you know everybody. Even with my new job, I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I need a contact for this
Mm-hmm.
political person. And she was like, hold on, IM'd me their secretary's information and I got on the books real quick.
Wow.
But then at the same time, she told us, she was like, being friends with y'all, like, you guys really do mentor me and you don't even realize it. We're like, what? Like, me?
That's the friendships I aspire to have, because having people who can pour into you, who can show you something different. Like, I'm not in the political world, but I have a friend who's a lawyer. And so, being able to learn different aspects of that, or learn something from a friend who knows about real estate, or knows a friend who knows about finances, like those little things can literally propel you to the next level. Because I don't know about you, but we all are grown adults, but we're still learning. Like, there's no manual to sit down and say, oh, okay, I'm at step one. Now let me go to step two, step three. Like, there's no handbook. So it's
Right.
always important to have people around you where you can always learn and grow and be better. I feel like I've tried to do that my whole life. And then the friendships that weren't, adding value to my life, I eventually, had to let go in some aspect.
That's true. And as we're talking on this topic, I just wanted to look at a meme that I sent to my friend back on August 1st. And it says, normalize meeting a group of friends once a week to talk over investments and business ideas.
Amen.
And I sent it to him because he's one of my friends, like he's into that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. He's into real estate, he's into finance, he's like a blurred black nerd. He's that. And so I'm like, yeah, he's not in my corner because of that. Like we're friends, but I know where I'm weak, those are areas that he's strong. And I'm like, yeah, that would be so cool. Like just get together either with just him or with other people and like, let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about finance. Let's learn about finances. Let's learn about investment properties, or even like let's learn about what it takes to be a oops, sorry, what's that thing called? A notary. Just something
Mm-hmm.
simple. So any way to bring extra income into your household, and then make sure that you're even following people on social media. They don't even have to be your friends. So the
Right.
person that posts that, he's always talking about investments. I follow a lot of people who talk about multiple streams of income, um, different ways to do it. Cause you don't want everyone, let's all flip houses. No, not
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to flip houses. Not everybody wants to get stocks. Not everybody wants to, do that type of thing, sling life insurance
Mm-hmm.
or things like that. So I follow so many different things. Like, wait, which one do I want to do? Which one? I need to start doing some of them, but I've even heard of random things on Google. I'm like, oh, that's how I can make money. But you never know, like what you're hearing, you can
Mm-hmm.
tell a friend who it might be something for them. So you need to get your friends your friends, not just your associates, but you can bring associates. Only thing about associates is sometimes they may try to compete with you, and we ain't got time
Oh.
for that.
Mm-mm.
Especially if they try to like backstab and get stuff that you probably have set up for yourself or
Ooh.
have planned to have for yourself, or even just sometimes you don't want to tell certain people things because the tongue is real, it has some power, and you never know people's true intentions, so you keep it to yourself because you don't want them to say something and then it gets ruined. So
No, that's not that
you gotta
is
know who's in your
accurate.
corner. You gotta know.
Yeah.
But I got a great village. I love my village. Me being a transplant here. I've been here a long time, so I probably should say I'm from here, but I'm not. I moved here in '09, but I've got a lot of good friends from my elementary and high school years back in Arizona that I'm still cool with, to the ones from college, which are gonna be like lifetime friends, to the ones I've met since I've been here. It's just
Mm-hmm.
my village is all spread out, but they're all so strongly like engraved in my life, and I can tell which ones the drop of the dime. Call me at 3, I'm in my car at 3:02 with one sock on. Like I'm coming, you know what I'm saying? So I love my people. If y'all listening, love y'all. And I want, you know what? No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go because I'm talking a lot.
No, you could have go ahead, girl.
I was gonna just say, like, what if you were to call a friend,
Mm-hmm.
how would they describe you as a friend? Like what would they say?
So I will say recently I've called a couple of friends and I'm like, hey, checking in. What can I do better as a friend?
Okay.
I'm going down the list of friends. I ain't got everybody yet. So this both of them, the two that I called, because I haven't even got down the list. I just
Mm-hmm.
this two just happened to be the ones that I asked, and they were like, nothing. I feel like you're a great friend. You're dependable. I enjoy talking to you. You offer, valuable conversation. You're always pushing us to and challenging us to think differently. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think they were probably, I mean, that's what they said to me. So I think that's what they would say. I try to be a good friend. I mean, even people that I've met here, because I've, moved quite a lot in my life, right? And so I've tried to create a friend group here. It's hard being
Mm-hmm.
an adult, creating friends and meeting new people and trying to
Mm-hmm.
sift through like what's for you and what's not for you. And then, you know, um, still friends from back home and, past lives. So yeah, I feel like they would say that I am,
Dependable.
you mean as,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. So I feel like they would say I'm a dependable, smart, I work too much. I am, I feel like they would say I'm an overall good friend. I mean, friends, if you don't think that, let us know. Let me know.
Yeah, she said, let her know, text her and call her,
Yeah.
or drop a comment and let her know
Hmm.
how you think of her, if she forgot some of her characteristics.
And also, sometimes as Black people, we have a hard time talking up ourselves. I know I'm learning to do that more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One, because I'm from the South, and people feel like if you talk up yourself, then not uh, you're being not being humble enough. So,
Because people will talk about themselves up here.
oh my God, yes, they will, and
Yeah.
they don't want to be your friends unless you have a prestigious job, because that is a thing up here too in DC that I've noticed. It's like, hey, how are you? What's your name? What do you do? Oh, okay, you're not a lawyer, doctor, or a congress member. You can't do nothing for me. Okay, cool.
That just remind me. I follow Sammy the singer, and he had a post
I
where
like it. Mm,
he had a post where he was in on an airplane and he was in first class, and he said that the person next to him asked him, what did he do? And he was like, I sell drugs, and put his headphones on and kicked back his seat and closed his eyes and didn't say nothing else. Like, he didn't even try to explain it anymore. And I was like, yes. Sometimes just say something outrageous. Just say,
yes.
I'm a micro.
Biologist. Would nobody believe me if I said I sold drugs or was a microbiologist? They'd be like,
No, yeah, you can be. You say, I sell drugs, I'm a mule sometimes, but hey, right now I'm just trying to have dinner. What's up? Just to see. Like, I think that would be fun. I could say something like that. Like, that would go with my personality, to just say something ridiculous off the wall with a straight face and then bust out laughing and be like, all right, so what's the next topic? Because we're not gonna talk about this right now.
right. I need to start doing that because it is ridiculous in this area how many times you are asked that. And a lot of people think, so people who aren't from this area, you just think that's normal, right? Like somebody's going to ask you your name and what you do. No. Come to DC for a week. Go out to different places. It is not, it's literally, they are asking to see if they want to get connected to you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But if you come, just know you don't have to answer. It's your business.
mm-hmm.
So if you want to be a drug dealer, or if you want to completely avoid the question and say, hey, you know what? We're not even at that point yet. What are you drinking? You can do that because you can control the narrative of whatever conversation you're having with somebody else. I luckily haven't had it asked in a long time because I haven't really been meeting a whole lot of people, but it did used to happen all the time. And I'm just like, this is what I was saying. I said, I push papers, like my job, busy work. I'm not going to tell them exactly what I do. And that's what I tell them because they don't even know.
I tell
Because that's
people
just
what
really what I do. I push papers. Like, I'm talk about red tape. I'm doing what I need to do for y'all. That's all I got to say. Pushing papers. So
if I tell people my title for my job, that's what I do, and they be like, "Oh, okay." Nobody ever knows what it means, so they're just like, "Okay."
same thing if I were to tell them my title. Like, so what exactly does that mean? I
Mm-hmm.
buy things. I push paper. I buy things. But
And
see, it's like, that's not important. That's
mm-hmm.
what I do from 9 to 5, literally. I've been doing better. I've been getting to work at 9. But yeah, that's my 9 to 5. But I'm so much more than that. That's what was paying my bills. And do you want to get a job? Are you looking for a job? Because I'm not in HR. So let's not talk about my job. Let's not talk about none of that. So yeah.
Well, I'm excited that you've been getting to work at 9 o'clock because 9:30, 9:15.
Oh, it was more like 10. It
Okay,
was
10.
definitely 10. The
I was
last
trying to
few.
give you a little leeway.
I mean, because the thing is, the regular world works 9 to 5. The DMV
Mhm.
works, what is it, 6 to 2. I'm not gonna work extra early for what? So I can just come home and have a longer daylight for what? I'm going to get my sleep on.
Wait a minute, hold up. Who works 6 to 2? Because if I can work 6 to 2, I literally would do it.
Almost, there's a fairly large amount of people at my agency who works 6 to 2,
Sign
and
me
seven
up
to
today.
three. Get in the federal government. That's what they do. Like, I'm not doing that. I am 9 to 5, 9 to 5. You're lucky 9 to 5, 9:15, whatever.
Okay.
Could I get earlier? I could, because do I have any responsibilities here outside of taking the trash out on Thursdays? No, I don't. So I don't have it. That's the only thing. Like, I gotta make sure that gets done in the morning, but I ain't got nothing else to
Mhm.
do. So
All right.
I choose to sleep in, stay up late, and live my young,
Best
sexy,
life.
sassy life. Hmm.
All right.
That's so off the topic. I don't even know how we got to that when we were talking about friendships and whatnot. But oops, yeah. So my bad, y'all. As my lovely line sister always says, I digress. We be going off on tangents in our little groups. Oh man, I spilled water. Anyway, so how about listeners, if you guys can drop something below right now and just tell us about how you met your best friend and how long you've known your best friend. Tell us that, and then tell us the craziest story of you and your best
Mhm.
friend. I have some stories I can tell about me and my girl. I ain't gonna do it on the air. I could tell, let's just say, like, we know each other very, very, very well, and can't get nothing by each other. But one of the funny things was when we were both trying to cross into our illustrious sorority.
Mhm.
Um, we saw each other on campus, and by then we've known each other for 4 years. And it was like, oh, well, did you get a call? Like, are you going to be online? Looked at each other dead in the face. No, I ain't getting no call. Who got a call? I don't know. I heard there might be some calls happening. I ain't getting no call neither. Lied to each other face. Showed up on the day. Like, wait, what you doing? You told me you ain't get a call. Well, you told me you ain't get a call. Well, we weren't supposed to tell nothing, so that's why I tell you. So it was funny because we didn't know. We were lying to each other because, one, we didn't know about the other person, and as your friend, you don't want to say, "Oh, I got this," or "I'm gonna be that," and I know
Mhm.
you
And
want
you,
to.
yeah.
But and also, just as trying to join a sorority, like, you don't, discretion is key. Like, you don't talk about that stuff. But when we walked in, I was like, yo. So yeah, that I like to joke about that. That was many, many moons ago, 13 years ago when that happened. But it seems like yesterday, and I know exactly where we were standing on campus. But we have had plenty of memories since then, with alcohol, without alcohol, with food, um, with other friends, with surprise birthday part. Like, you know, life has been great with this girl.
Yeah.
Love you too, V. Okay.
Yeah. I think back to college days. Life has definitely. Whew, that's not the topic. So we'll.
Well, life is college is where you meet your good friends. It's where
Mhm.
you meet some of your lifelong friends. And since we talk about friends, you can talk about college. You can talk about who you met. How did you meet? How
Mhm.
did you meet your best friend? I didn't
Um.
even answer that question for myself. I just told a story, but we
Right.
can go
So.
with.
Well, so I'm gonna go with my best guy friend. I've been friends with him since we've been like 5. So he I feel like he doesn't really he counts because we've been friends forever, literally forever.
But your
Um,
like families kind of introduced you.
no. So his grandmother stayed across the street. I guess that you can go with that.
Because they're your kids. You guys didn't just walk down the street. Like, y'all didn't just show up in school together. It was like, I'm gonna be your friend. It's like the families knew each
No, no, no,
other.
no, no. Oh, well, okay. So he stayed. His grandmother stayed across the street in the apartments. He would come over there to play. I would go outside and play, and that's how we met. So it wasn't like our family said, "Oh, this is this person. This is this person. Nice to meet you." No, we just kind of played together, and then we just that went throughout 5th grade, and then by the time we got to 6th grade is when we actually started going to school together. So that's when we made it like an informed decision. Like, we were cool friends before that, played, and then I guess by 6th grade, we actually started becoming friends. But yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, and it's very different to have a friend that goes with you through each stage in life. I mean, think about it. From that age, seeing you in elementary school to middle school to high school, we went to the same college in adult life. It's very different knowing somebody all of those years than just meeting somebody yesterday.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
definitely, it's different. A lot of time, energy is invested.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's cool that you guys have gone that long. So Ebony has
Yeah.
shared how she met her best friend. She hasn't shared one of her favorite stories. I have not shared how I met my best friend, but I did share a story. So we've done the opposite. So what you guys can do for us is you can drop something in the box right
Mm-hmm.
below and tell us one or the other. You could either tell us how you met your best friend or tell us one of your favorite funny stories that just remind you of them all the time. I think that'll be a little good, fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Or leave us a voice note. So if you're listening on Anchor, you can actually go into Anchor and leave us a voice note. And you know what we can do? We can play that voice note on the air.
Good plug.
So the
Good
two
plug.
people I've talked about already, y'all my friends, leave a voice note so I can telling me how much you love me. No, just kidding. Just leave a voice note, anybody, and you can answer our questions and get on the real play.
I know what I forgot to tell you. I didn't tell you this off the podcast, but I'll tell you now. So
Mm-hmm.
you remember our last podcast that we had? We were talking about matchmaking, right? Like if we would introduce our friend to someone else. I think I did kind of tell you this. I did. I'm lying. And so my cousin
Oh yeah.
ended up seeing the podcast and was like, "Oh, so you really want to be hooked up with somebody? I think I have somebody for you."
Mm-hmm.
I told you, unfortunately, I don't think the guy was my type. I didn't see him in person.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a photo. Um, but this is a plug to the people out there. Hey, if you know somebody, say something. That's all.
You did tell me this story
I know, I
the other
forgot.
day, and you said that he was possibly my type.
Oh yeah,
So
I must send it to you right now. So I want your authentic uh
reaction or
reaction on the podcast. Sorry, I'm let me see. Give me 2 seconds. So I'm gonna send you. Let me not play this though. Is this the one? Yes. So I'm gonna send you this, and the person that's tagged. Oh no, I can just click on it. Um,
as she's
and
doing
you
that,
can
um,
peruse the Instagram. Don't look at that one. I don't feel like that. What I just sent you is not a good picture. Go look through the Instagram, girl.
I just say, why'd you send it to me?
Let me send you the video, but you might play it. Well, it's okay because my cousin already
So,
knows, so you can just play this video.
well, I don't
I
want
think he
to.
looks better in the video than in the pictures.
Well, I don't want to. So you have not met him. You've just seen him in these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Your cousins. Did your cousin specifically say that? Wait, he just graduated. Did he just
I didn't see that
graduate?
part, girl.
And 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that might
I
be a
didn't see
little
that
bit.
part, girl. I ain't looked that hard.
But did your cousin specifically say that this person was interested in you?
No, I don't think he said anything to the guy. I think that he just was telling me about the guy because when I looked, the guy's page was private, and then I was like, well, his page is private anyway, so I can't see what he looks like. So he just sent me pictures, and then now his page is not private. But I don't think he told the guy about me. I mean, I can ask him, but I don't. I highly doubt if he even said anything to the guy. I think he was just telling me.
Well, from what?
Guys don't really do that.
Don't do what?
Tell guys like, hey, I have this cousin, let me tell you about her. I think they feel like they see if you're interested before they go to their friend.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that from what I can see on these few pictures, and I've only looked down to a few, but he travels out of the
Okay, I did.
country to
Mm-hmm.
help other people in need. He's very supportive of athletes that he's taught
Mm-hmm. He seems
or been a
Christian.
coach for. He has a he's gainfully employed.
Mhm.
He's been to a lot of weddings. His friends, that means his friends are, he's been in weddings. So his friends are married, and he may be someone who knows that marriage is probably going to come up for him soon. And he went to a HBCU. Um, and to me, I think he's attractive. He's an athlete. I mean, I would definitely give him a try. So I don't know why he was like the hair. I'm not fond of the
I
type
don't.
of hairstyle that he has, but that's nothing because that's just hair. My hair changes
Well,
because
that's what I told my friend. I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. I like taller guys. He doesn't seem that tall to me.
I'm 5'3", so I can't be too picky. He
Yeah,
doesn't,
I'm a
from the
little.
pictures, he doesn't look like, he probably is like 5'8", 5'9", maybe 5'10". But at the same time, like his heart can be big, you just stand on that.
Girl.
So maybe let me go ahead and slide in DMs. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that you should always give somebody, just a little try. And maybe I don't know who your cousin is or how they are and the type of things they like to do, because usually friends are
Oh
birds
no,
of a
my cousin's married. He got like 3 kids.
no, but his likes, like what does he like to do? Because birds of a feather flock together. So like if
Oh,
he's
my cousin is very smart. He is into like growing his career and investing, trying to get several businesses, that type.
okay, well then his friend probably is the same.
Okay.
So you go ahead and shoot your shot, or I will.
I
I'm just kidding. No, but I will. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I will, as in I have no shame shooting my shot at anybody. I've already told that whole couple episodes ago how I shot it multiple times and it didn't really work out, but it doesn't scare me. It doesn't make me feel as though I'm not worthy of love. I will make that initial like introduction of myself. And if you are feeling it, then we go on to the next phase. And if not, then we don't, because I'm not going to chase you. But I'll let you know, like, hey, I see, like, just looking at his page. So
need to see. Oh, the age was the thing for me too. I forgot
I
to
can't
tell
tell
you
his
that.
age. It looks like
I
he's,
think my friend told me he was like 28, and that's what was like,
yeah, it looked like he graduated. Well, it said like yeah, I think that post was like
that's what kind of stopped it for me. I'm
2017.
like,
But I don't know if that 2017 was a graduate degree or an undergraduate degree. But it wasn't that long ago. So maybe you should ask your cousin that. If you're interested in everything and it's just his age, then, or if you're interested enough to give him a try, but the age is
I think my
bothering
cousin
you.
told me he was 28.
Yeah.
Let me look through text messages. Looks like he said he was 28.
I mean, that's not super far off. It's not. But yeah, that's just a little something that it's not on friendships, but you
It's
never know.
not.
You start those friendships before you start dating because you want that foundation. So what Ebony's gonna do
But
is
shout
she's
out to
gonna
my cousin though. That was very nice of him.
yeah, she's gonna follow up with her cousin and see, what was he thinking, if he was that much younger, or maybe she just changed her mind after she looks at his little Instagram page a little bit more. But to me, he looks like a well-rounded person. Of course, people are going to show you what they want you to see, but the fact that I don't even know what country is that, Ghana? I don't know what country he went to, but to see him with all those kids, like that kind of melted my heart a little bit. So
He said he may be 29, but I think 28.
okay, so yeah, that's something that you can ask him. Like, how old are you? I'm a little bit older. Do you know that being older means X, Y, and Z? Are you down for that? Yay or nay? Yeah. Or don't talk to him at all. If you really don't feel like he's someone that you can ever find yourself feeling any type of attraction towards physically or mentally or spiritually, then yeah, don't waste your time. But he does look like he would be a good catch.
True. I don't know. I think about it. I don't know.
But yeah. Anyways, y'all. Have y'all ever done that? Have y'all ever had a friend come to you and like say they wanted to hook you up and you saw the pictures and you're like, nah. Or you saw the pictures, you're like, oh yeah. Like let us know about that too. Because
Yeah.
my friends out here don't be trying to hook a sister up. So I haven't really had that, but
I
let
was
us know.
surprised, but again, he saw a snippet of the podcast and was like, "Are you seriously into that?" I'm like, "Shoot, if you know somebody, let me know."
Mm-hmm.
I guess he
Yeah.
did let me know, huh?
He did. He did. So maybe Maybe that's your blessing right there. All right, y'all. We not
Right, be
gonna
out here blocking blessings.
blocking them, but we're not gonna hold you. Speaking of blocking blessings, we're not gonna hold y'all because our sister's getting a little hungry, so I don't want y'all to block my blessing of being able to eat. So we gonna go. We are gonna go ahead and wind
In
down
this
on this
podcast.
episode, but like we said earlier, we had a few things for you that we wanted you guys to hit us up. Either you can hit us up in the DM, you can leave us a voice note, or you can send us a little message. Not a little message. You can talk to us below
Mm-hmm.
and just tell us one, how you met your best friend, or a funny story about you and your best friend. And what was the other thing from earlier? Um, I forgot.
I think you said one other thing, but I don't remember. So you'll have to listen to podcasts and see. And I have shameless plug. Please, when you're listening to the podcast, please rate us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or Anchor, wherever you're listening. And then also, if you are watching this on YouTube, hey, please subscribe and leave us a comment below. Like the video. You know,
Share. Don't
share,
just
please.
like,
Share it with a
share.
friend,
If you found something to be
a
funny,
brother, a
informative.
cousin.
Mhm.
I was gonna say uncle, but that made it too old.
Some people uncle be the same age as them. Look, don't even know it's their uncle. But that's a whole nother episode. Okay.
Right.
Anyway,
All right.
um, well, it was fun, and we will catch y'all next week. Remember, Tuesdays. Catch you next Tuesday.
All right. Dropping Tuesday. Well, make sure if you have any, if you want to send us an email or want to DM us on Instagram, we are on Gmail at the real play podcast at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you can send us a DM on the real play podcast
Mm-hmm.
at the real play podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say what you about to say.
And then if you want to send us a personal DM, my Instagram is Ebony D Johnson and Ciera.
And mine is Raven with 2 N's. Raven with love.
Now listen here, my page is open, but still hit that follow button. Thank you in advance. Just don't be lurking. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding, because I be looking on people's stuff. But anyway, so
Like we just did, old buddy.
right. All right, guys. So we'll talk to you later in the next episode.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.